Welcome to Transmissions, where we talk all Hasbro, Takara, and third-party Transformers. On this episode, we grind some gears, seek out a new statue, and are retailers fed up with Hasbro's pre-order system? Today is Wednesday, January 24th, 2024, and this is episode 574 of Transmissions.
Welcome to Transmissions, the podcast that needs more cowbell. We mean Charles. I'm your host, Jeremy, aka Yakko, and I'm joined by my excellent Transmissions team, Daryl, the Cybertronian Beast.
It's just me.
Yeah,
I'm here.
I pointed the right direction. Yeah.
You did. I don't know. My camera's messed. I don't know. Am I supposed to point this way?
Yes.
Because you're this way for me.
Yeah, I know. You point the opposite direction.
Hey, look at you over here.
Awesome. Yeah, so Charles is out this week. I can't remember why. He probably had some secret mission or something. I don't know.
Let's talk Transformers.
There we go.
Yeah, I don't know. Charles, he decided he got called away at the last minute, and he's gone. So we don't know what's going on. It's a secret hush hush kind of thing. We're just telling everyone that that listens to the show, but he's an important guy. Those double doctors don't they can be called away at a moment's notice.
I know.
Emergencies and all, right?
It's probably some emergency surgery or something.
I mean, you gotta. Yeah.
All right. Well, you'll have to deal with me and Daryl this week.
Sorry.
And as always, we get started by thanking our Donatreons, who are the awesome people that donate and help keep this podcast going. We appreciate all of you. And if you want to become a Donatreon, go to transmissionspodcast.com/support. And when you do that, you get access to a lot of great things like our exclusive show, We Like Big Bots, featuring Daryl and Dr. Pants. And we have, 12-ish episodes up now? The latest?
Yes, 12-ish. Yeah. Yep.
The latest just went up with you guys talking about Grimlock.
It is. It's right. Yep. We did. We talked about Grimlock, and we had some fun with that one. He's a very popular character. Definitely one of those ones that gets a toy seemingly every go around. So he's pretty fun. And we dug into Grimlock pretty good. I think we both had some pretty cool figures for him.
Awesome. And we also have our exclusive, it's not really exclusive, but the Transformers Empire of Rust, our live play RPG podcast.
I would say it's exclusive.
Well,
nobody else has it.
Okay. But it's not a Patreon exclusive.
Right. Yes.
Donatrons just get it early when the regular show comes back. But right now, we're still on the Rustford Files. Episode 9, Do Transformers Dream of Rising Cranes, is the most recent episode. And you can grab that at transmissionspodcast.com/rust. And the main Empire of Rust story will be returning, I think, in a few weeks. So check that out. And then we also have our exclusive cover of the new Skybound Transformers #1 with cover art by EJ Sue. And you can get that at our website, transmissionspodcast.com. And when you're checking out, there's an option there to say TFCon LA pickup. If you're going to be at TFCon LA, you can save on shipping and make Charles and Daryl have to carry a lot of books with them to LA, and they will hand it to you personally.
Yeah.
So we thought we'd have that as an option since both Daryl and Charles are going to be there. So if you want one, do that. And I think, you might be able to pick up one from them directly at the show if you just want to give them some money.
Yeah. We'll be there. We'll have some books.
And EJ Sue is going to be there, so you can get him to sign it.
Damn right. That's what I'm planning to do.
Yeah. All right. And then finally, if you are in the need for stickers or a lot of kind of little accessories for your figures, go to toyhacks.com and you can save 15% by our code Big Bot 24. This is good for the month of January. This code can be used with Robo Points, but cannot be combined with other discounts, meaning that usually if they have a discount going, it's probably better than the 15%. But check that out. Toy Hacks is awesome. And, the 15% goes a long way with buying, a bunch of stickers.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that is all we have right now. So let's get into our toy news with some quick hits.
We're going to start off today's show by talking about something that appeared while we recorded last episode. So it's pretty old news by now, but this thing is a pretty cool figure, and I'm excited to get my hands on it. This is Legacy United Gears. So this is G1 Gears, and this is going to be under the Legacy United banner. It's a deluxe figure, and we are getting our first looks at this figure. And I am just thrilled that we are getting this figure because the Legacy line and all the previous lines, ever since the Hasbro people started doing these mini bots in deluxe scale, they have been absolutely killing it. And I am, I'm in love with these little mini bot figures. I do wish more people had access to Cosmos. I mean, come on. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I'm preaching to the choir here,
Yeah.
But it's great that Gears is becoming available. I'm sure that we'll get some more figures. Who is Gears' mold mate? I'm just trying to look here. I'm just, why can't
it Swerve? No, they didn't do a Swerve yet, have they?
Outback? Was it Outback? No, Outback was Brawn. It was Swerve. I think you're right. It was Swerve.
Okay.
So
they haven't announced the Swerve yet.
They haven't. So we'll probably get a Swerve. So that'd be kind of cool. And it'd be nice to get another figure out of this same mold. But I'm very excited for this. It looks fantastic. So G1 Swerve, Legacy United, and should be coming out soon.
Those are G1 Gears. But yeah,
what did I say?
Swerve.
Oh, I'm sure it's coming out soon too.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we've mentioned that a new Autobot multi-pack is coming soon, and we have some early pictures of the first figure from that pack, and this is Trailbreaker. And I think this looks really good. I think we have. Let me get the right window here. This is the only picture we have. Okay, sorry. I thought that we had more pictures. But that was different. Right?
I think so. Yep.
No, we had additional images. I don't know why I didn't have that come up. There we go. These were better pictures. So this Trailbreaker, I mean, he looks really good. They obviously have the Trailbreaker name back. I think they've had one or two other releases since that happened.
Yeah, it hasn't been Trail Cutter for a while.
Yeah, but I think this looks really cool. And which version is this next to?
So this is the
Earthrise?
Yeah, I believe so. I can't remember, but it was in that trilogy there. That's when it came out.
Okay.
I think it was Kingdom or Earthrise,
Kingdom,
one of those two.
So this is obviously based off of that. A lot of similarities, but the colors are a lot more cartoon accurate.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're looking for a cartoon accurate Trailbreaker, this looks like it's going to be right up your alley. So I've always kind of liked the Trailbreaker figures that they've put out. So this one might be one I go for.
Right on. All right. Well, up next we've got a new pre-order that's available, and this is the like an action figure statue-y thing, and I think they're highly articulated action figures, but non-transforming. And these are the MDLX Skywarp figure. and it looks very good. This is, I think, the second. I don't think they've done the. Have they done the other two? I know they've done Starscream. Have they done Thundercracker yet? I can't remember.
I don't remember.
But anyway, this is it's approximately 20 centimeters tall, or 7.8 inches for all you Neanderthals out there. It is 50 points of articulation, which is insane. That is crazy. 50 points of articulation, and it's looking to. Do we have a? I'm going to see if we've got a like a price here for it. So
the poses in these pictures are just amazing.
They're great. Yeah. So $119.99 US, or $164.99 Canadian. So yeah, if you're interested in this, it's definitely up for pre-order right now. It looks great. The colors are fantastic. Very, very posable.
My biggest complaint is just the feet, just the way they look. I don't know. I guess with a G1 looking Seeker, I kind of just want the flat looking feet.
Right. There's a little stylized action going on here, you know, definitely a little of their style, the 3-0 style there. But no, it's very cool. And if you're into highly articulated figures, this is definitely one of them, and it's not too crazy priced. So yeah, take a look at that if you're interested.
All right. Next up, we have from Robot Toys images of a color prototype of their new RT-01 Caesar, which is a Legend Scale Optimus Primal. And this thing is just crazy how they were able to get all this in the Legend Scale. This thing looks amazing. So this is a classic Beast Wars style Optimus Primal, not really the movie style. Or kind of maybe a little mix of the two, but mostly the animation, and it looks great. He has the double swords, and he has even the skull mace and a mutant face to kind of go by like the original toy, and looks like he has a couple different faceplate options if you want the lips or no lips. And I don't know if they've already done the Megatron, but they have it here next to it, so that might have come out already. But I think this thing looks really great.
See here, Robot Toys. No, Robot Hero. I don't see them.
The Megatron is RT-02 Tyrant, as you see here.
Okay.
So obviously that's a prototype as well.
Gotcha.
So, but I mean,
well, something to look forward to.
Yeah, Legend Scale Beast Wars figures are not something that I realized I wanted in my life, and I do.
All right. I gotta say, I like the Megatron more than the Optimus Primal.
Yeah, here's one for Beast Mode where Primal's hugging Megatron from the back.
Yes, this is nice. It's a nice hug.
Yeah. So anyway, these are really great.
Very cool. All right. And lastly, we've got a teaser announcement. So this was up on YouTube. And this is a teaser from Robosen. And I don't know what they could be talking about here, but they have a very short little video where they talk about an upcoming figure. And this is it has a leader of the Decepticons flair to it. It definitely looks like it's Megatron.
What's in the title of the video?
Shh. I was trying to keep it a little mystery to it. But I mean, the big question is going to be, does it turn into a gun or does it turn into a tank? It's going to turn into a tank.
It's going to be a tank.
Because it's going to be remote controlled. It's going to have the same stupid app, and you're going to be able to drive it around. So yeah, this is going to be a tank Megatron, and it's going to look G1 kind of.
I think it's going to be great. Their Grimlock and Optimus have been good. I think they learned some stuff that they applied with the Grimlock. So hopefully this will be even better than both of those. Hopefully it'll be able to stand when it's powered off.
No chance.
Yeah.
What they did release that Bumblebee that does not transform.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a chance that they do this one as a non-transforming figure and
No.
it goes as being, G1?
I don't think the Bumblebee was labeled flagship. I think the flagship ones are all transforming.
Right.
Like Grimlock is a flagship.
Very, very good point.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to this, and we're going to get the Frank Welker voices and stuff, and that's just going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
Maybe if you see him in TFCon LA, ask about it.
If I get a chance to ask him about something that I don't care about, then I will.
Okay. Did you mention April 2024? Release?
Yeah, I mean it's pretty soon. It's pretty soon, actually. Yeah, so they've been working on this thing for a while. Yeah, for sure.
So that's awesome.
Right on.
All right. Well, I think that is all our quick hits. So let's go into a discussion topic. And this is something that I found on Twitter. I don't know if you remember what Twitter is. It was a website.
I have no remember. It's crazy.
They've renamed it to some character. Anyway, this is it was from an account, Dia Brave Sid, but they shared a post from Kapow Toys. I think this looks like it's a Facebook post, but Kapow Toys is a toy retailer in the UK. Mm-hmm. And what Kapow is telling people is that they are not going to be taking pre-orders for Tidal Wave because they've been burned, I think, from all the Titan class figures. They say that Tidal Wave is going to have a suggested retail price of 224 or essentially 225 pounds. And that Hasbro wants people to pre-order this. I think the assumption is that with this run, I think I saw someone speculate that they're not going to be overproducing it. But what Kapow is saying that all of these last few Titans going back, Black Zarek, Cybertron Metroplex, Nemesis, Arc, Autobot Guardian have all appeared at other retailers half price or less in under 6 months of their release. With they say Black Zarek was as low as about 70 pounds from a store. And obviously, if you're Kapow Toys and you have to, buy it and try to sell it at the full retail price, you've just been burned over and over again. So they're saying that they're not going to be pre-selling Tidal Wave, and if it's available at clearance, then they're going to try to get it at that point and sell it at a more reasonable price. And I don't know, I thought this was something interesting to talk about since we've all seen at, like the Rosses, or I don't know what your equivalent is up in Canada, but these discount chains that get the overstock from other retailers and just sell it at a discount. And, it's obviously hurting like Kapow Toys. I'm sure it hurts BBTS, TF Source, all these other retailers. So, I mean, what else can a retailer like those specialty retailers do other than just not stock the toy, which is also going to hurt them, I'm sure. But, they're having to make the business decision. But Daryl, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I'm just looking it up here. So I did a quick conversion. So 225 pounds, British pounds converted to US dollars is $286.15. And that is actually cheaper than the Canadian pre-order price of 299 Canadian dollars. That converted into US is much less. I guess what I'm saying is that the British are getting charged a lot more than the Canadian. Let me just do a quick conversion on that one too. There's a Canadian, so $2.99. Come on.
Yeah, and they also mentioned here while you're doing that Hasbro thought that they would be able to pre-sell about 200 units of Tidal Wave, even though they've communicated to Hasbro that the last 2 releases were overpriced and they had no interest outside of, you know, the completist collectors. So they're seeing this as kind of abuse of the market.
For sure.
And so, I mean, you know, even Hasbro Pulse marks it down, and they can't really compete with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the Canadian retail pre-order price converts to $223.40 US, which is insane. That it's a whole like $40. Almost $60. It's over $60 more expensive to pre-order it in the UK.
Yeah.
I mean, we've kind of seen this before, and we've talked about it a number of times over the last few years. The Titan class figures were super prevalent in the early years.
Yeah.
And then they went. You would see them. I remember the posts with the Generations Thrilling 30 Metroplex. Skids and skids of them were at Costco because they were just dumping them there.
Yeah.
Which is insane now because these things are worth over $500 a piece, and they were dumping them for like $100 a shot, which is insanity.
Well, I still have the Trypticon. I got Charles picked one up at Ollie's for me for I think $60. I still haven't opened it. Don't have room.
Well, that's the kind of the point that I'm trying to make is that, you know, as these kind of, you know, these releases kind of kept going, it seemed that Hasbro kind of smartened up and said, okay, well, you know, we're making too many of these figures. Let's make less of them. And we can charge more, right? Because the same number of people are going to buy them, but there'll be less, and we won't end up saturating the market with them, and they won't end up getting discounted, ending up in all these, you know, these discount locations. Because with figures like Predaking and I think it was Predaking and Omega Supreme and Scorponok, they all seemed to just kind of vanish when the pre-orders were done and everyone kind of got them. They just were gone. Maybe not Omega Supreme. I'd have to, you know, think about that a little harder. But the re-release of Trypticon as Black Zarak, yeah, it was easy to find. They were everywhere.
Scorponok.
No, not Scorponok. Black Zarak. When they redid Scorponok as Black Zarak.
Yeah, but you said re-release Trypticon.
Oh, sorry.
So someone would email.
Yeah. So Black Zarak was everywhere. So for those 3 releases there, they seem to have it figured out that, okay, we'll just release less of them and we'll be okay. But again, I don't know if something kind of happened and they're like, well, we need to, the market needs to have more of these things. So they bump their supply back up, and all of a sudden now the market's getting flooded with them again, but they never brought the price back down.
That's the problem.
Yeah, so the original retail price of these things back in the day was like $150, and that was really quite reasonable. Now you fast forward to now, and we're talking $300 Canadian, you know, for these things.
Well, I mean, how much is a leader figure for you?
It's like $80.
Yeah,
$79.99. It's quite a lot.
It's
right?
hard to justify collecting a lot of these figures, especially the giant ones.
Oh yeah, like myself, I stopped completely on the Titan class when they stopped doing G1. I don't have the Arc. I don't have the Nemesis. I didn't buy the Autobot Guardian, right?
And the Cybertron Metroplex.
I didn't buy Cybertron Metroplex. I have no intention of getting Tidal Wave, right? Like these are humongous savings for me and my collection because of the fact that they're crazy expensive and they really don't fit where I want my collection to be, which is generally G1 because I'm an old bastard and that's what I want my collection to be.
Yeah.
But I mean, but yeah, so anyway, these figures end up being, they go back into the discount retail spots, and yeah, people go and find them. You get scalpers. Yeah, it happens. You get scalpers go in and you find them all for $60. They'll buy them all, and then they'll end up at places like TFCon, or they'll end up at your local toy shows and stuff like that for 100 or 150. And these guys will make bank on them, and you're still getting a huge deal, right? You're still a crazy deal. And yeah, it's a pain in the ass because yeah, I wish I could have gotten one for $60. It's true, but are you really, spending that much more if you end up paying 100 and they paid 60? I hate buying them off of scalpers too. But if I can't get one, like we don't have Ollies here in Canada. I wish we did. We really don't have discount chains like that, right? There's maybe one or two, but it's not a chain. It's like a one-off store that just kind of gets a deal like that. So you just got to get lucky, and it doesn't really happen. So you've got to find these discounted toys elsewhere, which when I go to the States, I hit up as many Ollies as I can, right? But it kind of pisses me off that I can't find them for that cheap of a price. But what are you gonna do?
Well, I think
deal with it.
We're also probably in a period where Hasbro is correcting, kind of overproducing, like with all of the cuts we've been hearing that they're making, both like in layoffs and like reducing, like maybe removing some figures from a line. I think we're in the middle of a correction period, and I could see them doing fewer tidal waves in the market, just like because that's what they can do right now.
Sure.
Going forward, I would think they're going to probably try to make it more exclusive, but it's hard to see. It's hard to see that they're going to actually make the prices go down, which really would help everybody except them probably. But I think, in my opinion, the prices have just gone out of control.
They're too high.
They're too damn high.
If you want to we can get back to this particular retailer as well. I don't blame them at all.
Yeah.
If they know that at some point, I mean, you can never know 100% that these figures are going to end up at a discount chain, right? But you can only base, your future actions on the previous, the history of what's happened so far. So it's their best guess as to what's about to happen. Now, like I said, with the 3 previous releases, the Predaking, the Omega Supreme, and the Scorponok, those things were once the pre-order was done and they got released, they were gone. You couldn't find them anywhere, right? And if you remember, if you were online looking for them at the time, I remember specifically when Predaking came out, people were screaming for when is Predaking going to show up at Ollie's? When is Predaking? When I knew I want a Predaking, where's my Predaking? I need to get a Predaking from Ollie's. And I'm like, you should have pre-ordered it at retail, right? You can't bank on these things showing up at discount stores. And on one hand, I fully support this retailer not taking pre-orders because it's a humongous burden on a small retailer. The store that I help out at has a Cybertron Metroplex and I think a Trypticon in their display cabinets, right? They're huge. They are humongous boxes, and he's got to charge, what he's got to charge. He's got to charge a few $100s for these things, and it takes up a lot of space.
Letting him sit is costing him money.
Exactly.
And
so can you really be upset with Kapow Toys by saying I can't afford to take these things? They're going to cost me more money than they're worth.
Yeah, and then seeing other retailers sell it for, a third of the price.
Exactly.
When you still have it, and if you mark it down, you're losing even more money.
Yeah.
And when these figures go to like an Ollie's or a Ross, Hasbro is basically just taking a loss on the whole thing. They're probably not getting anything because I think it's coming from stock that other retailers had already paid for.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, I assume there's some kind of a loss, but Hasbro has to clear out their warehouses.
Yeah.
Right. They can't have stuff from like 6 or 7 years ago hanging around because they just you can't sell it yet. They have to get it out there.
Yeah.
So that's what they have to do. They take a loss, move it out, and they at least get something for it.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the whole idea. Right. And these smaller retail chains, they need an option to say, look, this thing's been sitting in my, in my storefront for 4 years. I can't move it. Can I send it somewhere? Is there some kind of discount location that I can send, a box of shit to, right? Because I can't sell it. Right.
But if you've been telling Hasbro, that the last two Titans did not sell well at all, and Hasbro doesn't seem to listen, then, you really can't blame them at all. Kapow Toys, that is.
No, I can't. Honestly, I can't blame Kapow Toys at all. And frankly, I wish that the store that I help out at would do the same, because frankly, I can't stand having to move these damn things around every now and then because they're just so big and they take up way too much retail space.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's, and my store that I help out at is quite large and they have a lot of space, but it's not all Transformers, and these things end up on the floor. The boxes get all banged around, and it's, whatever. It's just the way, it's the price of doing business, I guess. But
yeah, but I mean, like Kapow mentions, like Kapow mentions, especially these Titans, there is not a lot of interest outside of the general, like the mainstream collecting audience. No, you're not going to find some, mom going in looking for a Transformer for their kid and be like, here, I'm going to buy this $300 giant figure.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, it's insane, right? So think about the ones that are not G1 as well. Mm-hmm. Like Cybertron Metroplex has had 2 toys, the original and the new one. You're supposed to sell that to somebody who is not a collector? That's crazy. Yeah. Like, you're trying to expand the market here and bring new people into it. That was a figure specifically designed for collectors.
Yeah.
Right? High price tag, extremely niche, and just incredibly large.
Yeah. I do feel like Tidal Wave is going to do a little bit better because it does have better name recognition, but it's still too expensive.
Sure. I mean, it's still, there's only 2 toys of it.
Yeah.
Right. One's a repaint of itself. Right. And then there's this brand new one. So, it's another one of the same thing. Like, do you know the show that it's from? Okay, now I understand what it is. Like, if you did not watch Unicron Trilogy or whatever, is it Armada? I guess it's Armada. If you did not watch Armada, then what the hell do you know this figure from? Right. The comic book?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Sins of the Wreckers.
Yeah. Come on. Like, I appreciate that they're making these figures, but these are incredibly niche figures.
Yeah.
Right? These are 100% made for collectors. And I mean, and even in the collector market, they are niche because you got to be into Cybertron. You got to be into, into Armada as well.
I kind of feel like the Titan class really should just go to HasLab and just the Titan class should be HasLabs.
Yeah, I mean it's HasLab and the Titan class is kind of weird because they're in the same price point at this point.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, these were what, 150?
They're cheaper now.
Yeah. So I think they did find after Unicron, they did lower the price a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, yeah, I mean, obviously they're smaller, but it's it's an interesting kind of dichotomy. You've got this figure that's smaller. It's more kind of it's crazy niche as well. Like a Deathsaurus. Yeah. It's a project figure that you're going to wait a year for. Right. So yeah, we know what we're getting into with that one. This other one's mass retail.
Yeah.
Right. So I agree with you that it probably should go to the HasLab stuff. That way they know what they got to sell, but on the same token, they may not make the allotted amount either. Right. Yeah. So anyway, it's one of those things. I fully agree with what Kapow has to do for themselves, because they're brick and mortar. They don't have, like, Hasbro's not going to give them money to stay open. Yeah. Not going to bail them out if they start losing, $2,000-$3,000 on a release, right? So, yeah, they need to do what they got to do, and more power. I think more power to the rest of the retailers as well to keep doing similar type of thing.
Yeah. All right. Well, let us know what you think about this as well. I mean, are you in the UK directly affected by this, or just what are your thoughts in general about this whole situation and the increasing prices and all of that? Just go to feedback or transmissionspodcast.com/feedback and let us know. We'd love to, include your thoughts in a future episode.
Are you buying the tidal wave? I mean, are you getting it? That kind of thing. I mean, we want to talk. Yeah.
All right.
Voicemail. Send a voicemail.
Yeah, voicemails are great. All right. So with that out of the way, let's get into trips to the store.
The Transmissions Podcast will return after these messages.
All right. And that's kind of, after that discussion topic, kind of funny with both of us had to kind of, I don't know, this is not going to be the most expensive trip to the store ever. No. But before we get into that, let's thank TeePublic, who does the merch for our store or for our site. Go to transmissionspodcast.com/TeePublic and get amazing designs for shirts, mugs. Neither one of us are wearing the shirts tonight, but they have great stuff, both from our show and pretty much anything else pop culture wise you might want. But if you go through our link, transmissionspodcast.com/TeePublic, we will get a little referral credit, regardless of whatever you buy there. And if they're not doing a 35% off sale when you go, check back. They do those all the time. So I would definitely try to hit one of those sales and buy your stuff then. All right. So I think I'm going to go first because you have the actual retail product. I have something I made. This is the time of year where my kid in Cub Scouts does Pinewood Derby, and we had ours this last weekend. So I'm going to show off what he did, because he's done a Transformers themed car every year. This year he chose Mirage, and I did the cuts. I mean, he did the paint job. This is what he wanted to do. So this is his take on Mirage. It's got a Toy Hack sticker there and a Toy Hack sticker there, but did pretty good. He didn't place in the races this year, but he did okay. And then we do an outlaw division where the adults and siblings and stuff can enter cars. And I did an Optimus Prime last year that won. So this year I took that one and just kind of changed it a little bit, and dubbed it Optimus Pine. And I don't know. I think it looks decent. Also Toy Hack stickers on both sides, but I don't know. It came in, I think, second or third place this year, but other people really weighted down the cars and kind of blew me away. But anyway, that's what I got this year. Just, people do really, really intricate customs and stuff. I take a block of wood and paint it.
There's not a weight limit that they can do?
For the main races, it's 5 ounces. But for the outlaw, rules are out the window.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Okay. This is still the car I think we did the best job on. His first car, we did Bumblebee. And I really still think I can't top this. And it even has
how did that place?
I can't remember. It got most realistic in the voting that we do.
Oh, okay.
But it has when Toy Hacks does rub sign stickers and it works. So that's cool. So that's what I got.
I miss doing the Pinewood Derby stuff.
Yeah.
They were fun. It was fun. I always remember I did a really good job on one car. I was really proud of it. And I made it like super aerodynamic. A friend of mine, his dad helped me put like varnish on it to make it like, super, super slick. And I like sanded the tires to get all grippy and all this kind of stuff, put some weights in the bottom of it. I was like, oh, this thing's going to do really well. And my brother, who was in Cub Scouts at the same time, he really didn't care. He put the wheels on the wood, just on the block of wood, and I didn't place, and he won.
Yeah.
I'm like,
well, yeah. Well, for the Outlaw last year, I spent a grand total of like 30 minutes on this Optimus Prime, and basically it was just the cut to separate the cab from the trailer, put the wheels on, put a lot of graphite on, and it won. Yeah. But this year, the family that, like the one family, they had 2 kids, and then they helped another kid with theirs, and those 3 cars placed in the top 6. One of them won.
Wow.
So it's like this one guy was responsible for, a good portion of the winning cars.
Well done. For me this week, I just grabbed something off the shelf. It's been a really busy week, and I'm about to leave on a business trip again. So I'll be in the U.S. for the week.
Looking for the ollies.
Yeah, I'll be hitting all kinds of ollies. But I just grabbed something off the shelf. This is my Studio Series Optimus Prime with the Jetfire add-on. It's not an add-on, sorry. It's the Jetfire figure that I have just added on. So I think this is Studio Series 22. I think it's
movie
22.
From Dark of the Moon.
This is Revenge of the Fallen.
Oh,
where this happens.
I hate that movie.
Yeah. So this is, like I said, I think this is Studio Series 22 Optimus, and I think it's Studio Series 36 Jetfire. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but honestly, the numbering, I don't care. I just know these are the 2 that you have to get to work together, and I like it. It looks good. I don't do a lot of Studio Series stuff, but I definitely do more than I really wanted to. I really didn't want to do this line at all outside of the Studio Series 86 stuff, and then I ended up buying I bought both of these, and then I got the entire Devastator set, and then I got the new Optimus, and I got both Starscream and Blitzwing, and
you're I don't even like these movies.
I don't even like them. So yeah, and then I have the Soundwave, and I have the RC, and
I have a bunch. Beast Wars figures do you have, and you don't like the show?
I have a lot of those. Yes, #1 Beast Force fan. That's me. So yeah, I really like this figure. It looks good. Anything it's like combining Optimus is my kink. So I'm really kind of into this kind of thing. So yeah, I look around and I've got like, the I think it was like all the Optimuses from like the what was it, the Unicron trilogy. I've got all those and all their combining stuff. So yeah, a super duper Optimus mode is my jam. So
yeah.
Right on. But that's it. That's all I grabbed this week. I'm going to look for stuff while I'm in the U.S. This coming week. So we'll see what I find.
All right. Well, I think that'll do it for trips to the store. And I snuck in a convention topic while you weren't paying attention. So let's get into some convention news.
We now return to the Transmissions Podcast.
All right. Well, It's almost time for DairyCon 2024 up here in Wisconsin. It is April, I think, 12th and 13th. And they have announced
It's a 2-day show now.
Well, no, it's the first night is like just people hanging out and playing games and stuff.
Damn.
It's a 1-day show, really. But they've announced their first exclusive for this year. And it is
How dirty is
Famicom
it?
Boy. Famicom Boy.
Oh, this thing again. Okay.
So this is, I mean, they've got the art from the original Mystery of Convoy cartridge for the Famicom. Or I guess it wasn't even from the Famicom. It was a Commodore game, wasn't it?
It was a Commodore 64 game, yeah. So, but this is the Famicom. If they did it, because that's what the toy is.
Yeah, the toy transforms into a Famicom cartridge. Mm-hmm. So I think this is really cute. We saw at the last TFCon like a bunch of Nintendo cartridge Transformers. I think Proto Man was selling some.
Proto Man was having them. I think Charles bought a bunch of them. So
yeah. So anyway, I love this. They're fun with their quotes and everything. And just from their logo, it looks like they're going to be doing a lot of video game related exclusives. Like I think the Genesis is going to be coming up just from that black and white grid. But DairyCon is a fun 1-day show in the Midwest where you can go and buy a bunch of stuff. I think Artfire 2000 is going to be there this year with a booth. So if you want
that's
Japanese
true. That
stuff,
is something that we did hear about. And if you are interested in exclusive, like Japanese exclusives, yeah, they Artfire 2000 is a dealer who has some insane figures. Yeah. Like they're pricey, but you'll never see these figures anywhere else. Like these are some really, really great things that you can get your hands on. And the fact that they're going to DairyCon means that they must be in the area. So yeah, so very cool. If you can make it down to DairyCon, just for that, I would go.
It's really inexpensive. Let me get here to the pre-registration is open, and it is
it's like $10, isn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't actually say on here, but it's really inexpensive. Let's see.
Yeah, it was like $10.
That's all about. Yeah, I can't find it. Here we go. The walk-in price is $10.
Yeah, there you go.
So walk-ins receive one DairyCon attendee item pre-registration, or to get exclusives, you have to pre-register. So it's worth it if you're in the area. I'm planning on going this year. I haven't been in a few years for COVID or being out of town reasons, or whatever. Yeah. So it's going to be fun. All right. Well, we're going to finish up the show now with a little feedback. So we got some feedback from the last show, 573, where on our YouTube page, Stuart Tyler made some comments when we were talking about the crossover code names and speculating on what they are. Stuart suggested, he said, I've always thought a Knight Rider Transformers mashup and crossovers should have been handled similar to the way Sergeant Slaughter was handled in G.I. Joe. It made perfect sense. In the Knight Rider rebooted series, Carr actually did transform, and he believes that Saint Peter Cullen did Carr's voice both times, so instant connectivity. And then he also suggested Motor Master as Goliath from Knight Rider, or Goliath versus Optimus 2-pack. And then he also suggested a Trypticon Mecha Godzilla mashup, or Trypticon Godzilla Pretender.
Interesting.
So, I don't know. I mean, Trypticon's a bit big, but I could see like Grimlock Mecha Godzilla kind of mashup.
I mean, they are correct that Peter Cullen did do the voice of Carr, and It's a very interesting or cool piece of like little IMDb trivia for people out there. But yeah, it is a little bit of a like a neat little crossover you could do.
Yeah.
Knight Rider would be a very cool one. Motormaster is Goliath. Motormaster is a cool one as well, just because you've got that big truck with the trailer connected, and yeah, it could be done fairly easily. There's a bunch of cool TV or movie trucks that it could be done.
They should just do a series of 80s television shows. Pull in, Knight Rider, A-Team, Airwolf. How many of these 80s shows had cool vehicles, and just get them all.
Yeah.
So.
And I mean, Trypticon is like, he is a Godzilla, just painted differently. Like, it's perfect. Like, that's a perfect one.
Yeah, if they could,
it's expensive,
do a smaller
though.
one.
Yeah, it'd be expensive, but that's a very good one. Well done. Thank you.
Cool. All right. Well, I think that brings us to the end of the show. Before we go, we want to always thank our Masterpiece Donatrions, who are the people that donate at the highest level. So thank you, John Forks, Loving and Demon Tech 82. And if you would like to join them, again, just go to transmissionspodcast.com/support. And again, our TeePublic is transmissionspodcast.com/TeePublic. And you can buy our merch there. And you can make sure you subscribe anywhere you get podcasts. And I think that is it. So Daryl, thanks for joining me. Good luck at your business trip.
Thanks.
And we will see you guys next time. Bye.
Later.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Transmissions. If you'd like to join the conversation, travel to our Discord channel at transmissionspodcast.com/Discord. Want some cool transmission swag? Feast your eyes on our transmissions gear at transmissionspodcast.com/shop. If you'd like to support our podcast, go to transmissionspodcast.com/support or tell your friends about our show. We'll see you next time.